Today we're talking about potential trade spots for Ben Simmons, and I think the writing is on the wall. Okay, you have Joel Embiid saying, "I feel like the turning point was when we had an open shot and we made one free throw." It's not working anymore. You know, this is the 4th year in a row for an exit for the Philadelphia 76ers. I've said it before in a video. You know, there's still no conference finals appearances. It's just at this point, something has to change. It's not Joel Embiid, it's Seth Curry, or Tobias Harris. All of those players stepped up this year, right? Tobias Harris had his moments where he kind of disappeared, but he at least took more than 4 shots in the 4th quarter of every single game of this series. The first team I want to talk about is the Los Angeles Clippers. If you take Rajon Rondo and add Patrick Beverley, you get Ben Simmons. Another good benefit of the Clippers is that they have a lot of great pieces. You can go with the young route. Guys like Terrence Mann makes a lot of sense. Obviously, right now his stock is the highest it probably ever will be. Marcus Morris. I just mentioned Rajon Rondo. So there are a lot of good pieces that the Clippers have. He says for the Clippers, under the situation, the Clippers lose to the Suns this year. Right? And I know they've lost game 1, but they've lost game 1 of every series so far. So I'm not like super, until they're out, I'm not counting the Clippers out, right? But even though it's the Clippers. This segues actually really well into the team the Clippers just beat, the Utah Jazz, right? So the Utah Jazz makes so much sense for me because I was looking at their roster. It's like Bogdanovich, Mitchell, O'Neal, Clarkson. I mean, it's literally Ingles, Ilyasova. Other than Gobert, they have a barrage of great shooters. The problem is they don't have a guy like Ben Simmons who's willing to take a step back and just facilitate. Clearly the Jazz, as the way they are formulated right now, are not going deep. Okay, the reason why it doesn't make perfect sense for the Jazz is that Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell had a thing when Donovan Mitchell was a rookie. Like, it was like, you know, I'm better than him, at least I can shoot. And, he didn't even play last year. And it was a weird back and forth. And I don't know. I know this. If I'm the Utah Jazz and I'm trying to add someone to the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell's like, yeah, not that guy, I'm probably going to listen to him, right? That kind of brings me to my last team, which is the only team that missed the playoffs to where I think it could make sense for the Philadelphia 76ers, and that's the Toronto Raptors. Now, obviously, this would have to occur with a sign-and trade because the Clippers don't have the cap room to just add Kyle Lowry, and switching Ben Simmons for Kyle Lowry could potentially work really, really well, and they could offload another contract that they don't need in that trade to help spice it up for the Toronto Raptors. And it doesn't really fit super well for Ben Simmons. Mike Conley could potentially be the things that the Sixers are missing. Rajon Rondo, or maybe a Marcus Morris, or maybe a Terrence Mann could be the thing that the Sixers are missing. Kyle Lowry is certainly the thing that the Sixers are missing. That's really the biggest thing here. Is Ben Simmons going to get traded from the Sixers, blame the Sixers, blame Philly, and not improve? Or is he going to say, okay, now it's time for me to get better? Ben Simmons' stock is the lowest it probably has ever been. So if the Sixers do decide to trade Ben Simmons, which I think they should, they might not get exactly what they want, and they certainly won't get what they were getting offered last year in the offseason. But let me know what you guys think. What spot makes the most sense for Ben Simmons? Let me know in those comment section down below. Do click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for more content. But most importantly of all,